Hey guys, Ryan here, and today I'm going to bring you a replay in the T110E3 on Lakeville. Now, this game's going to be a little bit different just because of where I take my tank. Now, in this game, it's a tier 10 game, obviously. Our team has 4 tier 8s, the enemy have none, but that's a good thing because it means if they have no tier 8s, there's more hit points and more XP on the enemy team to get. We're on Lakeville, as I said, and I'm in a team with Felix and Spandex. Felix in his 5A, Spandex in his 50B. And when I say this game's going to be a little bit different from where I position myself, I'm going to go 1-2 line. Now, as I just slowly drive over to the fight, I just want everyone to know that, generally speaking, 95% of the time, 1-2 line is not useful. The rest of the map, the centre and the town, much more useful. That's where you want to fight most of the time. But there's very few scenarios where I will go 1-2 line. There's no artillery, there's no Death Stars, and I'm in a very powerful, well-armoured hull-down vehicle. So if I'm in an E3, Super Conqueror, T29, T32, Kranwagen, all these vehicles, if you're able to go hull down and there's no artillery, or in the case of tier 8 vehicles and above, no Death Stars, you can go hull down here. And that's what I'm doing. And also, because I'm in a slow vehicle, it means that I'll be relatively close to base and I can defend if need be by just turning around. So that's why I'm going this direction, because I am top tier, in a very powerful tank, hull down, no artillery, no Death Stars. So that's the general gist of it. Now, the good news is, a lot of the enemy have actually come here, which is nice. It would be a bit pointless if I came over here to fight and there were no enemies. M103 comes over, I hit him with a big shell for over 980, so I almost rolled for 1,000 there, which is crazy. Another advantage of these big 850 alpha guns is you can actually roll for over 1,000, that is possible. But at the same time, you know, RNG giveth, RNG taketh away. You will sometimes roll for, in my Object 268, I rolled for 639 one time, so it's all well and good getting these high rolls, but you just got to know that you will get fucking some crazy low rolls at some point as well. This is the nature of the game, but enjoy them while you get them. Come back over, E100, turret, straight through with an AP round. VKB goes through my lower plate, and I'm going to target him. Now here's the issue, the VKB's turret and the E75's turret by comparison, you can pen both of them as well through the front. They have about 250 to 260 armor. But their cheeks on the turret are a lot smaller than the E100, which means there's more chance of you hitting the gun mantlet, or the angled sides. So you're trying to aim, and I do think I hit the gun mantlet there. So it's quite weird, but the E100 is easier to pen through the turret than the tier 9 tanks are, just because its turret is a bigger surface area, therefore easier to hit. So loaded APCR. VKB's in a very annoying position. So these are 375 APCR PAM. Straight through the turret. Another high roll, 881. I'm going to keep the APCR loaded and try and finish off the VKB. Now the other reason of coming here is I feel quite safe because you have lots of teammates. Now obviously in your turretless TDs you want to have teammates near you, especially when you've got the longer reloads of like an E3. The VKB dies, so I'm just going to try and pan the 705 through the turret, and I unfortunately hit his tracks. Now the time you penning a Russian tank through the turret like that is quite slim, but it can be done if you hit right next to the gun. So I just thought, since I had APCR load and it was possible, I thought I'd go for it, just because if I did manage to pan him, that would have been pretty funny. Didn't work, so I've loaded back to AP. Now there's 2 waffles down there, so I would have very much liked to have high explosive loaded, but you know, it's not the worst thing to have AP loaded because you're still doing, as you see there, 850 damage. So I've got an exact average roll there. And later in this game, the fact I've still got my high explosive shells saved is going to come in very helpful indeed. Now, going back for base defense. It's going to take a bit of time to get there because this terrain around the 1-2 line is soft terrain. I mean, if you've got terrible terrain resistance, horrible traverse speed, it's made even worse when you come down this path. And it's absolutely horrible. But I did say that I can come back to defend base from this position. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We do have a 268 version 4 over there as well, who's obviously a very well armoured tank, who's holding the line at the moment. And you see, like, this is the not so fun part of the E3. When you're sat hull down against multiple enemy tanks, that's the fun part, because you're bouncing shots, you're putting 850 into people, rolling high for 1,000. But when you have to move, that's when the E3 stops being fun. Now, I'm going to make a mistake, and that is I'm going to underestimate the Chinese tank destroyers around there. They have a tier 9 Chinese TD, and I hardly ever see the tier 9 or 10 Chinese TD. So it's easy to forget that thing gets a tier 10 gun. So it's got, its premium rounds are 395 pan of heat. Our light tank dies in the position to stop me from shooting the Polish heavy tank, because of course he would. He couldn't have died in the worst place for me. I sniped the turret of the 257. I wasn't expecting that shot to hit, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so I took it and I got lucky. Either Penda's Cupola or I may have overmatched him. Now here's what I'll say about this Chinese TD. You don't ever see them, and it has more penetration on his premium rounds than my E3 does. By 20mm. So you see, he's going to easily go through the machine gun hatch on top. I try to aim down, but I hit the, instead of the lower plate, the angle bit just above it. And I'm going to prepare the gun because the E3 is not the most accurate vehicle. Now you may have seen I've hit a few decent shots this game, but it's by no means an accurate tank. I'm going to use this rocket hull down. The 50 TP and the 257 are going to have difficulty penning me when I'm hull down. Specifically the 50 TP. I do pen the 257 for over 900, another high roll. Leave them on under 100 hit points. Now the good thing about leaving them on those hit points is, now that everyone has lower amounts of hit points, this is where the high explosive shells are going to come in handy. So see, as I'm aiming, I'm looking at them and I see they're all awkward positions where penning them might be an issue. There's a good chance of me bouncing off these people. So to alleviate the fact of bouncing, I'm going to load high explosive. Now these are 155mm high explosive shells with 90mm penetration and 1100 average damage, meaning even if you splash, you're going to do a decent bit to people. I've now loaded, aiming in, trying to find the right shot, and the 257 is going to pop up. Piece of piss, just splash him anywhere and he would die, and I do manage to finish him off. Going to keep the high explosive loaded. Something to notice is our team at the 1-2 line did lose, so our 268 version 4 is watching the back while I'm dealing with these lot. With the Tiger 2 in support. And Tiger's going to be quite helpful actually. Because in a turretless TD, when your main threats are light tanks, and they may still have a tier 10 one up and running. It's the Rumtop Panzerwagen. And the worst thing that could happen is for him to get behind me. Especially since the 268 version 4 is also a turretless TD. He's not been spotted yet for a while, which is the worrying part. And now he's just been spotted behind the Chinese TD. I missed the HE shell, I back up because the Chinese TD is moving forward, and I know that he can pen me reliably. Tiger 2's dealt with the light tank, that's mine and the version 4's biggest threat. Now the good thing about the Chinese TD is he's also low enough hit points where if I can just hit him with a high explosive shell, I should be able to kill him. Version 4 gets rid of the T30 behind us, but there's also a Waffly 100 there. And see, I just need to find any part of the tank to shoot at. He shows me the slight corner, finish him off, and just... This is what high explosive shells are awesome at, finishing off well-armoured, low-health tanks. Because of that angle, I had no hope of penning that with an AP or even an APCR shell. It was genuinely impossible, but high explosive doesn't care. Face hug the 50 TP. Again, he's on like 4 hit points, so high explosive shell. And now I can go back to help the 268 version 4. Now, I can one-shot the Waffle with AP, but I'm going to keep the high explosive loaded. This is a mistake. Because with high explosive, there's a chance of bouncing. I could hit his gun and just splash him for a few hundred and therefore not kill him. So if you can one-shot with an AP shell, use the AP shell because you're more guaranteed to pan. Same with artillery. If you're in a high caliber TD fighting artillery, so you've got 750 alpha, just keep AP loaded because then you have a good chance of penning the artillery. Whereas if you have a high explosive, you might hit the tracks or the gun and leave the artillery alive and he'll shotgun you. And it'll be very sad. I speak from experience. Of high explosive shells fucking me like that. Thankfully, E3 does me good in this one. I hit the gun shield and I do finish him off. So that's the E3 for you. Very well armoured, very big gun, very slow. Well, that is E3 in a nutshell. And this game was a very decent one indeed. 70k profit, 6800 damage for the high caliber, 3200 blocked, 5 kills for an ace tanker. Won the steel wall with the version 4, blocked almost 7k. Felix managed almost 6k damage himself, and overall, a very nice game. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.